They told you Neville Goddard was only a teacher of imagination. But what if I tell you he lived his teachings so completely that life itself had no choice but to obey his inner world? And I will reveal how this one mysterious story continues to defy logic to this day. This is how it begins, with a man who had no money, no ticket, and no means to return to his island home. Yet he walked the streets of New York as though the journey was already complete. This is where imagination becomes reality, for he closed his eyes and saw himself in Barbados, hearing the ocean, feeling the humid air, and smelling the salt on the wind. This is how he learned that imagination, when felt as real, reshaped circumstance without a single visible effort. This is where faith is no longer belief but knowing, and the outer world bends in obedience to what the inner world holds. This is how events aligned: a friend, an unexpected letter, and a ship's ticket arriving precisely when needed. This is where mystery and law converge, not as coincidence, but as demonstration of unseen certainty. This is how the ordinary becomes divine, for the journey he imagined materialized exactly as envisioned. This is where Neville's story becomes more than proof. It becomes invitation, urging you to test this power for yourself. This is how persistence transforms doubt into revelation, showing that imagination is not fantasy but creative force. This is where stillness becomes creation, for every vivid feeling crafts a new world in waiting. This is how unseen intelligence orchestrates timing, people, and opportunity in silence. This is where thought becomes flesh and the invisible takes form. This is how the student of imagination becomes its master, understanding that consciousness is the only cause. This is where the world, which once appeared solid, reveals itself as pliable, shaped by inner conviction. This is how Neville returned home, not through chance, but through law in motion. This is where we learn that the miracle is never in the event, but in the certainty preceding it. This is how one mysterious act of imagination became a timeless reminder of the divine power within. This is where you realize you've been creating all along, unaware of the script you've been writing. And this is how Neville's story whispers across time. Feel it real, and the world will rearrange itself in your honor. Can you imagine what would happen if you lived the same way, walking as though the wish were already fulfilled, seeing not with eyes, but with faith that feels? This is where life becomes an unfolding dream, obedient to your inner assumptions and the states you dare to occupy. This is how unseen threads begin to weave, drawing events, people, and possibilities with flawless precision. This is where your imagination turns from passive daydreaming into conscious creation,